All right, we're back, and now we are going to start the actual microblading process. And she formulated the ink specifically for my eyebrow color. So here's the little ink she has.
It's a golden brown and brown one to match with your eyebrow hair color. Because she has light, so you don't want to do too dark. Okay, so we're about to start on the first stroke.
I'm so nervous.
It actually doesn't hurt. It's just uncomfortable. That's what a lot of people say. It's a very thin line that I do. So here's the first stroke. So just relax.
Oh, yeah, that's not bad at all.
1 to 10.
Certain areas,
1 to
yeah.
10, that was like a 1. All right, I would say that's like a 1 for pain. Now I know different levels are different areas are more or less sensitive, but right there, it doesn't hurt at all. I mean, I wouldn't even say it's like uncomfortable. It's not.
Sometimes the front part tends to be less because you have more bones there. This is actually these parts where you have more fat on the end. So the strokes I'm making there, I'm following along her hairline. Wherever they curve, I curve.
I mean, I would say pain level, like a paper cut, is like a 10 to me. So then this is like a 1 or 2. And I don't have any numbing cream or anything like that. So this is just by itself. And it really is not bad at all.
I think it's the sound that more like it scares people. It sounds like a little Velcro sound.
Yeah, it sounds like Velcro on your face. I mean, getting your eyebrows waxed hurts 10 times worse than this.
Sarah, do you want to tell them where you're having this done and approximately how much it costs?
I'm at the Venetian Nail Salon and Spa over in the Vintage Shopping Center here in Spring or Houston area. And the cost, it all depends how much you get done. So I'm having a full brow done, which normally costs around $500. But if you just need, say, a tail or, the front section, it would probably be half price, like $250. And just depending on the salon you choose to go to in your area, I would say it ranges anywhere from $400 to like $600 or $700, depending on your area and what the microblading artists charge.
And then just to recap a little bit, so about 4 weeks you come back for a touch-up, and then it lasts about
A year and a half,
A year,
depending
year and
on
a
your
half.
skin.
And she said here she gives you a whole aftercare kit, so you don't have to worry about going out and purchasing all of your own stuff to take care of them afterward. So they do supply you with a kit to take care of them properly after they're microbladed.
How are you feeling?
Good. I will say the outside edge is a little bit more uncomfortable, but it's still not like an unbearable pain at all. It's fine.
Yeah, I think if you can talk and get this done at the same time, I think it's good.
And then for the touch-up, how long does that normally take?
It takes an hour. We
Okay.
go back and we just go over the same line.
And she said by going over the same line, it just really promotes that pigment you know, sticking within that spot, so you get the best color quality and hair stroke.
Okay, we do have a question about Botox from Catherine. She said, I heard you cannot have Botox before having the microblading.
You have to wait 30 days.
Just the chance of it moving, or?
Yes, you have to wait to 30 days after your Botox to get this done. So I know you see a tiny little blood here. Don't be afraid. It's probably because she had coffee. Did you have coffee this morning?
I did have coffee.
Yes. So coffee sometimes causes, it thins the blood, the caffeine, so it's normal. If I didn't tell her, she wouldn't even know that she was bleeding.
Yeah, I mean, it's really not bad at all.
Usually when you get this done, it's good not to have any coffee or caffeine. But afterwards, you can do whatever you want. You can drink, you can have, you can't have alcohol 12 hours before the procedure either. I mean, a little bit of wine should be okay the night before.
I think Candace asked that question just a minute ago.
I did have a small pina colada last night.
And we had a margarita lunch, but we won't talk about that.
I was so nervous. And honestly, you guys, it's not that bad at all. Now, if you have a really low pain tolerance, it might hurt worse, but I would say still, even in the most sensitive areas, it's maybe like a 3 pain-wise. Where to me, 10 is like having a baby with no drugs.
And another thing about this is if you're on your menstrual period or menstrual cycle, it is a little more sensitive. You will feel it more, so just FYI.
And I said on the video part 1, just the reason I'm doing this is because I've never had eyebrows. I mean, I haven't even had them waxed or plucked in over 2 years. I think I've only ever had my eyebrows waxed twice in my life. And just living in the South where we go to the pool and the beach so much, you know, this way I have permanent eyebrows and I don't really have to spend that much money on product, filling them in, and maintaining them. So that way they're just permanently on my face and look good. And I have kind of a flat eyebrow, so I was missing the arch, so I felt like I just needed that arch and that eyebrow on my face, especially living down here in the South where it's just so humid and we're always in the water, I feel like.
Does she use a single color or multiple colors? So you talked a little bit about
yes.
color matching it.
I did mix a color for her. I mixed a golden brown with a brown one. It's just because her hair is blonde and her eyebrow hair color, it is brown. It's darker than her hair, so I have to kind of meet in between. So I do mix. Usually I do mix the color. I don't just do one flat color because the golden brown would be too light. Later on, if the touch-up, if she wants it darker, I can always darken it for her.
And obviously my hair color is not naturally blonde.
So now I'm going to rub the ink in the lines where I cut. And I'm going to go back in a second after I do this side and do one more overpass. I'll probably add in some lines that are missing that I didn't get to go in between because the ink kind of smeared. But that's normal. So I'm going to leave that for like a minute or two and then I'm going to wipe it off and numb it for her so she won't feel it when I go back to overpass it.
So that part when she rubbed the ink in, it does sting a little bit because you do have a cut on your skin and then she's rubbing it. But I mean, I would say that pain level, maybe a 4. I mean, so right now it just feels like it's stinging. Like, say maybe you had a cut and you put some alcohol on it. That's all it feels like. And it's already going away, the stinging. So that's pretty much eyebrow 1 already done. And now she's going to move on to eyebrow 2. So with the outline, you can see like where I'm missing spots and where they're patchy, or where their hair just doesn't grow. And I kind of don't have any tail and I have no arch.
So we're asking a lot about the process. So it is a tattoo,
A semi.
semi-tattoo. So they're asking a little bit about the device that you're using and how you're applying the ink.
Okay, so it's a little, well, you can't really call it a blade because it's not
So
a
hard
straight.
to see. There it is, guys.
Yeah, it's not a straight edge blade. It has 18 needles right next to each other, all lined up to make it look like a serrated blade. So that way it's not cutting like so deep. Because if you have a straight edge light, it's going to cut deep. And I'm only really going on her epidermis of her skin, which is the first layer of skin. The reason why it's only semi-permanent is because we are only cutting the first layer versus a real tattoo. It goes down 3 layers of skin. That's why it's so permanent. And I'm making little hair strokes to mimic her real hair, to look like hair strands. So as you can see, they're really tiny strokes. They're really fine.
I just want to say thank you too to Allison for videotaping this as she's like standing over me.
Can anyone hear the sound matching?
It just sounds kind of like a Velcro, kind of like a light Velcro, kind of like peeling up as you get it done. Kind of like a scratching noise, I guess. And that's just what it feels like too, is somebody like scratching
A hard
on your
scratch?
yeah, really hard scratch on your eyebrow. So I was really nervous before I came in here. And it's really not that bad.
That's good because I think it's a lot of people, they think it hurts.
Yeah, I think I was so scared about, the pain. I had heard different things. Some people said it hurt so bad. Some people said it wasn't bad. And like I said, I have a pretty high pain tolerance. And I would say it's maybe like a level 2.
Okay, Tanya said that she missed the first part. So going back to talk a little bit about the shape, we said was based on your bone structure. So depending, basically, she took some measurements and
So she has a tool and measures off of your tear duct, your kind of like your iris, the angle of your eye over here to the outside corner of your eye,
Your
so
bone over
your
here.
bone structure. So each individual person will have a different look because of your bone structure. So it's not just a one size fits all for every single person.
right. And then you also have say-so in how thick you want them and what
Yeah.
you want your ultimate
Some
result
people
to
like
be.
them a lot thicker because everyone's into thick eyebrows now.
And for me, I mean, I just feel like this will save me a lot of time in my makeup routine, which I don't have a super long makeup routine, but just when you're on the go and carpooling kids around and have places to go, it's like eyebrows are just one more step, and I feel like if you don't get them right, you kind of look wonky. So, this is a way for them to just stay on through the heat, the humidity, the summer, the pool, the beach. It kind of just a time saving and, you know, product saving technique for me. And like I said, I've never had eyebrows. They've always been thin. They've always been patchy.
Okay, so now I'm gonna go back and erase this side, and then I'm gonna numb her before I go back and do the second overpass. You see, if you can see the lines are there, that's just one overpass. So it kind of blends in with her brow. Looks good, right? It's not even halfway done. See, so that border is totally gone. So now I'm gonna numb it. It's gonna sting a little with the numb goes inside the lines that I cut, but it goes away.
What does it feel like, Sarah?
A little stingy, right?
It's just a little stinging.
But after this, you won't feel anything at all. I mean, it's gonna be like really numb.
Say hi to Paige.
Hi, Paigey. Yeah, it's just a light stinging. I mean, it's not bad at all.
Will it scab over? And
No.
How many passes? So we're going on our second pass on the right side.
Yeah, we're gonna go one more pass over here, and we're gonna scrub the ink in, and it will be done.
And it will not scab, you said.
No, some people scab, some people don't. It depends on your skin. If you keep it nice and moist and aftercare good, you won't even hardly see any scabbing. I've never had anyone that, actually I did, that called and said scabbing too much. Unless you go home and you just like scratch it and mess with it. Because it is only on a layer of your skin, so I think anything can come off easily. So the first week or so, you have to just leave your eyebrows alone. How does this side feel? Does it hurt more? It's on the head, I think, sometimes.
No, I feel like kind of right in the middle on the bottom portion hurt the most. But on the outside edges, it's really not bad at all. I mean, I feel like it's totally bearable. It's really not that bad. I think the pain is definitely worth the result of having eyebrows. Do you guys have any other questions about the process, or, you know, how she maps them out, or the color?
I'm going to recap a little bit on the cost, because I know when I came in, I was asking just about a partial with the tail, which I was excited that is something that they can offer here. And the overall cost there, how much?
If you get a partial here for this salon, it runs about $250. And she said that they fill in your tail and then a couple hair strokes within your brow just so that it blends. If you get a full, it runs about $500.
Comes with one touch-up.
And that comes with one touch-up, which you get the touch-up in
4 to 6 weeks.
4 to 6 weeks. It's like when she rubs the ink in, that does not feel great. But, I mean, it's more of like a stinging rather than like a pain, I guess.
Okay,
But
so now I'm going to go back
This
over.
side is totally numb now. Like, I
Yeah.
cannot feel this side at all.
And so she just applied a numbing cream for the second pass, Jenny. Which is what she's getting ready to do right now.
So basically, I'm going to go back in and go in the same line. See if you see that first line right here.
See, and that I cannot feel it at all now.
In the second pass, I have to numb it. It's just because I'm opening the skin, and it does hurt, so I have to numb. But since the numb is inside the line, it's okay.
And now I can't feel that at all.
can't feel
I
it
mean,
at
it's totally numb. There's zero pain.
And then Carly, we said it lasts about 1.5 years is what the typical.
And she said if you do have
Time frame
really
is.
oily skin, You know,
need
it
a
might
touch,
not last
yeah.
as long. You might have to get a touch up sooner than somebody who maybe has drier skin.
And then we also have a question about getting your eyebrows threaded or waxed afterward for additional cleanup. Is that something if
Yes,
you're natural?
you do need to keep your eyebrows groomed, because I'm really not taking any hair. I'm adding in, so your hair still grows. So you need to wax or still groom around the shape for it to still look nice. So yes, you do need to still get them groomed. You still need to wax and thread it if you have to, but it'll be a lot easier. They just go along your shape.
So now with that numbing cream, after she's doing it the second time, I can't feel it at all. And this side that she rubbed the ink into, the stinging's already going away. So it's totally bearable, pain-wise. And I just can't wait to see them healed up and have eyebrows all summer long, even at the beach.
Just have to add more ink. This is the part that is tedious because I have to be careful. If I don't go over the same line, I might leave a shadow. You don't want the lines to be shadowy. You want it to be really nice and clear.
So these are creating new lines.
The same line,
Okay.
but we're going over the same line. We're just making the lines darker. So you guys remember earlier, she didn't have any hair right here. See this? No, there's hair there.
I'm jealous. I feel like everyone can see my eyebrows except for me.
Girl. Yeah, it looks really good. So you remember these hair right here? She didn't have any, so now you see all the strokes. Looks just like hair.
She said when it's done, it can be darker at first, but once it heals, it will fade and then look more natural, like your exact eyebrow hair color. So it may be darker at first.
Yes, especially the first 2 to 3 days, it will look darker. It's normal.
So on this side, she's just going back over the lines that she made the first time. But she had put numbing cream on it the second time. So now I can't feel any of that.
side and put numbing cream on here before we.
Do you guys have any other questions about the process or?
See, if you film closely, these are the lines that was put in. Now they're light because I haven't done the second pass yet.
So the numbing cream, it stings a little bit, but within 10 seconds, yeah, it definitely helps. It's worth it. It's worth the little sting. I mean, it stings for maybe 7 to 10 seconds, and then it quits. So that numbing cream fills in the cut that she just made, and then she'll go back through and refill in again the same exact cut that she made with the ink, just so that that ink really stays in.
You can already see this side. It's like a lot darker.
So that's 2 passes on this side.
Mm-hmm.
So when I'm done, she has an aftercare kit that she'll give me. But you basically just have to keep them moist so that they can heal. And that helps the ink stay in. So it would be similar to just getting a tattoo, which I've never had a tattoo. So I can't compare the pain levels or anything like that, but it's been super bearable for me.
So as you can see, it's a very natural look. See, like earlier when we drew it, it doesn't look anything like that because can you tell the difference?
Mm-hmm. I can. It looks awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Are you dying to see it, Sarah?
Yes.
It's really pretty.
I just can't wait. After 35 years, I'll finally have eyebrows.
You just gave away your age.
I know. I mean, 21 years.
Now everyone knows how old you are.
I just can't believe I waited this long to get eyebrows.
Well, back then you really don't want to get tattooed because it's just one whole shade color and it does not look natural.
Yeah, I feel like this process, it's become really popular. So I feel like, you know, you guys as the artist have really kind of perfected the technique and the different colorings and the inks that are available.
Okay, so now I'm going to rub in one last time on this side. This rubbing part is a little uncomfortable because it burns. It's like a microfiber brush. See that? So
For me, it's still a little bit numb, so it
yeah.
doesn't really hurt that bad.
I'll show you guys a quick look. See? That's what it looks like. See, compare that one to this one. We haven't done the second pass yet.
Let me pull it back and you guys can kind of see the difference. It's crazy.
Can't wait to see them.
Do you want to even take a sneak peek of?
Yeah, I'll look at them. Oh yeah, oh my gosh, they look so much better. I have eyebrows, guys, I have eyebrows. Oh yeah, that's so crazy how they look like actual hair on your face. Oh yeah, they look so much better.
Okay, I'm gonna rub it and have to let this sit for 10 minutes while I do the other one, and then we'll take it off.
Oh, it looks so much better.
That mirror earlier, so you can
No, that's
see
okay.
what we're doing. Okay, so now I'm gonna go back and do this.
That looks so much better.
It's so pretty.
So pretty. It's great.
I just can't get over like how real it looks and how it actually looks like hair.
And just to let everyone know, eyebrows, they're not perfectly the same on both sides. You might have one hair more than the other. Your eyebrows are sisters. They're not twins, like everything else on your body. So don't go home and count every hair. And say, I'm gonna have more hair on this side.
So do you guys have any other questions about the process or, you know, how to find somebody in your area that does this? The pain, the price, is it worth it? For me so far after seeing them, it's 200% worth it. And I've always been that person that's been envious of people with like thick, dark eyebrows. And I just feel like eyebrows really frame your face. They can make you look younger. And
It is one of the most important features on your face, your eyebrows.
you know, I think if you don't fill in your eyebrows, you know, it just kind of completes your face. And so I feel like I finally have eyebrows and a completed face.
Feel anything?
No, I can't feel it. So she put the numbing cream on, and she's going back over this eyebrow for the second pass. And so I can't feel anything. I didn't even know she was scraping on them or doing the microblading because I couldn't even feel it. And the whole process takes about 2 hours for the lines to be drawn on and then the actual microblading itself.
In Sarah's case, her eyebrows, she had some already, so it took us faster to draw. She had an easier shape to draw. There's some people that don't have any brows at all, so it does take me a little longer to find the perfect shape. Sarah was really just missing the tail right here and right here in the middle, which is all filled in now, so it does create a perfect shape.
So Kristen has a great question. She says, so after a year and a half or so, do you need a whole new set to do this all over again? Do you follow the same lines, or is it just a touch-up?
It would be considered a touch-up if within a year you come back and the lines are still there, but it's just faded. I don't have to redraw the shape. Then it won't cost a whole new set. I would just charge you for probably just half the price, since we don't have to. It will be just considered a touch-up. Some people would come in a little before that, just because, you know, they don't like, they lost the line, some of the lines, so I just have to go back in. So some people have come in right before the year and a half, depending on your skin. So no, it wouldn't be considered a new set unless it totally disappeared and I have to redo the whole thing again. it would only be considered a new set if you just like let it go and it just not your shape's not there anymore. There's no lines left. It totally healed, then it would be considered a new set.
So you do have to sort of maintain them every year, year and a half. So then if the shape is still there after the year and a half, and you can see the lines, you just kind of go make
Yeah.
one pass over the lines.
Yeah. Well, I would make 2 passes. I would have to
Oh,
go back
okay.
and recut that line and then go back over just like I just did now.
Okay.
But it would be fast. I don't have to redo the shape. Some people groom them really well because since the shape is there, they just kind of go along with the same shape. Like I said, it's more like I'm adding more hair in than taking it away, so. Looks so pretty.
It does.
No, I
Yours
can't
turned
wait.
out
I'm so
really
excited.
nice.
So natural.
So now I have eyebrows.
Mhm.
So I have the mirror now, and I'm watching it on the mirror.
I had, when I was getting mine done, I Snapchat at this part because it didn't feel anything, so I was like, oh, I can Snapchat
Yeah, I can't
myself.
feel it. She had put numbing cream on it, so I can't feel any of this part.
So basically, after I do this pass, we're done. I just rub the ink in like the other side, and that's it.
So before we're almost done, do you guys have any other questions?
Can you tell them one more time where you're having this done? And you mentioned there's 2 artists here at Venetian, right?
Yes, there's 2 of us here.
And Sarah,
There
is that-
will be 3 or 4 more, but right now the experienced one is there's 2 of us.
And we're at the Venetian Nail Salon and Spa in Vintage Park. So she's almost done on this side with the second pass. And then she'll have to fill in the ink one last time like she did on this side. And then you said it sits for 10 minutes?
Yes.
Just kind of really make sure that ink is in there and solidifies in there. And then she'll wipe them off and I'll be done. And I'll be on my way home. And I will have, once they're all healed and everything, I will have an entire blog post up on this in a couple weeks for you guys. So you can read about it too, see the final pictures once they're all healed.
And Natasha's asking about the shape. So in our first video, she was able to use a device to measure and mark, and Sarah was able to get an idea of what it was going to look like based on her bone structure.
Yeah, we would never just shape it and do it. We would have to be, have to be okay with it.
And your shape is for each individual person. So everybody has a different shape. Everyone will have a different look based off your bone structure, based off your eyebrow shape that you already have.
Your arch.
So if you walk in and you said, oh, I want Sarah's shape, it might not be exactly like her shape because her face structure is different. We can do similar, the arch and everything, or the thinness, but not exactly the same shape as hers. Because her shape might not look good on certain people.
So it is tailored to you as an individual.
So I'm rubbing the ink in.
She had put numbing cream on previously, so right now, her doing that, all it feels like is kind of like somebody's scratching, I would say with like a nail file maybe or something.
Okay.
It's really not bad.
See.
Maybe a little stinging.
So I wipe it one more time to see if I'm missing any lines that needs to be put in.
So how do you know if you're missing lines? Just
I can see
by the darkness?
Yeah, the darkness. And like I said, there's blood here. It's normal. She had coffee, so she doesn't feel that. Caffeine just makes you bleed easier.
Kind of thins your blood out. So if you guys have thought about this, you've been on the fence, I mean, already looking at them, I would say 100% go for it.
And you see, this is the perfect color. You see how it blends in with her brow? Actually, this, I think it's still kind of light, but I just don't want to do too dark on her the first time. She might freak out after a day or two. It looks too dark. But after, when you come back for the second touch-up, usually everybody would want it a little darker because it fades, and they're so used to seeing it dark. But you have to look at it that way, where you have to look at your original brows and the brows after it's healed. It's totally different. A lot of people compare it to their brow when they walk out of here after it's healed. Okay, that's it.
All right, so that sits.
Yes.
And then I think before we go, do you guys have any final questions? And I'll post a picture when I'm done on Facebook so you can see the final result of them. Oh, one more question I guess I have is, so for the aftercare, no putting on,
You
no
can still
exfoliating.
wear makeup just like how your face is now. You just can't put anything. I'm gonna put a little sunset on it just to brighten the color for a few minutes. You just can't put anything on your brows until like at least 5 days until it actually heals. Just like when you have a cut, you don't want to put anything on it until at least 5-6 days, or until you finish the aftercare that I give you. And the aftercare it's like a little ointment that you put on a thin layer. It's like really clear, you can't see it. Almost like having a little gel on your eyebrows when you put mascara on them. Morning and night. And you can wash it off with a clean cotton every night and every morning.
Kristen, another great question. She said if she gets her eyebrows dyed, how long does she have to wait before she can come in and do this? Obviously, back to get to their natural color, or
yes, you actually have to wait till it goes back to your natural color before you come in, so I can see what color it is. There's people that have a lot of gray, where their hair is dark and they have gray mix. So I would tell them not to dye it until I do it, and then they can go in a week. They can go dye the gray.
Okay.
So you can do that.
So now I will just sit here with this dye on for a while. Do you guys have any last minute questions before we go?
final thoughts?
I will post a final picture for you guys so you can just see the actual picture when they're done. Just because I have to sit here for a while and I don't want to just have you sitting here on video.
On for 10 minutes, so I'm gonna wipe it
Okay,
off
so she's going to wipe this side off.
so you can see what it looks like.
And then she'll show you guys what this one looks like quick before we go. And then I'll post a final picture for you when we're done.
How many people watching?
About 21 or 23.
Oh, cool. I'm sure your video is going to be shared a lot. This is just water and regular green soap to wipe off. I'm not using any special kind of water. You see?
All right, so that one's done. That's what the completed eyebrow looks like.
I will brush it so you guys can see a closer look. So you want to take it close?
Let me get
You ready?
Yep.
See all the strokes? So even though she has hair here, I still have strokes in there. Not dark stroke because I don't want to make this spot too dark. So she still has strokes inside these hairs in between. That way it kind of flows. That's what I mean by even if we just do a half tail, I still put in a couple more so it can all flow together. And so yes, you can see those are her hair.
So that's what it looks like, all completed. If you guys have any questions, you can still comment on the post after it's done. Email me, message me, any last minute questions you have or comments, and I will try to get back to you as soon as possible. Thanks for joining us. Bye, guys.